Just got in my seat just in time. Ah, I'm ready to go see a movie right now. Hi, Keeners. This is Yakidachi, your boomer VTuber with a nose for nostalgia and nose for new. Saying sorry I'm starting a bit late. I had trouble getting my mic going tonight. For some reason, I was very mute. So if you want to see a silent film, not that you can see a film anyway because we can't show it on screen for copyright reasons, but you can watch along with me. Um, it's it kind of got nixed, man. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was kind of bad. Um, let's see. Yeah, so there was just no way I was gonna like you would just see like me standing very still because my part of my animation is built on the volume of my voice, TBH, and there was no volume, so I'd just be standing still like I wasn't even blinking right now. I'm gonna stop blinking. Just this would be me about 20 minutes ago. Damn it, I'm trying not to blink. There you go. There was the extended. Yeah. Anyway, um, wasn't cool, man. Wasn't cool. Anyway, we're gonna watch a movie. It's about an hour and 38 minutes. It's by Mario Kutzik, a Canadian who traveled to Japan and interviewed a whole bunch of garage punk, uh, current scenesters from Guitar Wolf to 5678s. Um, Basically the people who built up my late 90s early 2000s J-rock catalog as far as I knew back then. I have fallen in and out of following Japanese contemporary rock and pop. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I first visited Japan in the 1980s, so of course that was the early advent of the idol time. So Seiko Matsuda and Akira Nakamori, they were all contemporaries. Although it seemed like my uncles at the time were really more Seiko Matsuda fans. They weren't really Akina, probably because she was a bit more rockier and possibly rebellious. And I never got to see her, and I always said that if I had did see her at that time, I would have never left Japan. I would have said, "Oh, woman, I gotta stay. There's nothing like that back in Canada. I'm just gonna switch countries." Um, So yes, I have an affinity for Japanese rock and pop, but it's come on and off in the last little while. Why am I in my maid costume? Um, well, it's about the only closest thing I can do to celebrate International Women's Day. So Sunday, March 8th is International Women's Day. So to all you ladies out there, and you actually comprise a good chunk of my audience, um, like almost 50%, which is kind of cool, right? I have almost like 50%. I almost have gender equity in my audience, believe it or not, their chat. And a lot of them are from the Southeast Asia areas. So for those of you in Indonesia, Salamat Po and Ohio to everyone else. Yeah, so Japanese rock is on the queue today. Um, I knew I forget something tonight, and I forgot to push up my um, countdown clock. Yeah, stopwatch. There we go. So, all right, I'm just gonna get the stopwatch here. Uh, okay, I'll get the clock up in a second here. Uh, Or maybe not. Okay, whatever. Oh, it's Mercury retrograde. Anyway, let's just say at the top of the hour, it's 9:58 right now, and right at 10 o'clock, we'll start with this. Again, thank you for subscribing to number of 20,000. For those of you who signed up, well, it lasted a while. It put us over the 20,000 mark. Finally, it was kind of hanging at 18, 19 for a while. Thank you for pushing me over to 20,000. Really appreciate it. And yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Each one is appreciated, and for those of you who subscribe, thank you very much. And if you just want to check my back catalog for a bit and see, you're all new, but I have about over 320 videos. So it's almost, even if you watched one per day, it would take you a year. Think about that for a second. So there's a back catalog. So if there's something in there that you like or you think you would enjoy, please do so, and it'd be very much appreciated. All right. So it's almost 10 o'clock. I have posted also the what do I call it? the link. That's the word. The link to the documentary. God, my brain is fried today. Oh my God. Yeah, one day of work and it just already scrambles my brain. Oh boy. What can I say? Oh man. Okay, so and then next week it is St. Patrick's Day. Maybe I do an Irish song to post as a video. I don't know. Maybe it's an Irish karaoke night. I don't know. Who knows? And you tell me, chat. All right, it's now 10 o'clock, so I'm going to check to make sure that we are on target. Yes, we are. Okay, let's do this. So the link is in the description. I'll double check the description is there and that it's active. Yeah, the Garage Rockin' Craze, right on. So it is in the description. So if you're trying to watch along, I'm going to start any second now. Yeah, let's do this. So. Yeah, and if you're not familiar with these groups, don't worry. We're going to do quick dive, and he talks to people on the scene in Tokyo and such. And like I said, my last trip to Tokyo, I did dive into the rock scene from major label to indie rock, and it was great. That was the highlight of my trip, to be honest. It wasn't the food, to be honest. I skunked out on, I always say try something new, try off the beaten path, and they were all kind of mid. I mean, it's still good Japanese quality, but it wasn't like anything that blew my socks off, except for one pork cutlet place that was really good. Some nice tatsu there. In the Nagoya style, surprisingly. It surprised me it was Nagoya style in the middle of Tokyo. So that was good, but that was about the only surprise out of the whole weeks and weeks. Let's do this. All right, so documentary should be starting up shortly. I'm just getting to the page. Yes. Garage Rockin' Craze, the story of Tokyo Garage Punk, a film by Muriel Cusick and B.B. Clark. So I believe they're both Canadian, just like moi. And we'll see how far it goes. Yeah? Oh, and a 3, and a 2, and a 1. That's cool. So they all take the stage and present you an opportunity to the viewers of the world. They're talking to a scenester. So enjoy the ride, he's saying. Garage Rock and Craze, the title cards. Part 1, Little Old Daddy Owned Dove. Daddy Owned Dove? Now he's not talking about Dove, who's a scenester. 30 years ago. $1980. There's going to be guys running around without a lot of. Well, they're going to be pretty much. This is going to be rated M for mature. Playing guitars in their shorty shorts. There you go. That's and that and very little else. Oh, and then they're talking to Seiji of Guitar Wolf. And anybody with his 20s seen this 30-year-old guy playing rock and roll said he looks a little too old to be doing this. and then he's Seiji Guitar was talking about how they got together with a bunch of other hanging around with teenagers and getting together and mixing it up. There you go. My daddy's always hanging with the young kids. What's great about Daddy O, and I've said this before, from Jackie and the Cedrics, was his Japanese-ness, like a school club. Even with bands and stuff, you have to bow down to the seniors. There you go. It's a seniority system, that's for sure. So you gotta respect the OGs. So even though Daddy has been the oldest and the longest, the OG son, he's always getting pushed around. There's still everyone picks on him. So they're talking to a female colleague called the Miracle Kiss. He doesn't have any respect for the seniority system, and so he operates more as an American than a Japanese person. You say? Okay. Okay. Now they cut the music. Yeah. Daddy-O is a freak. You could say he's a monster, a beast, as one of the players says backstage. Now, now I have to take in a show. It's obvious he's different from normal humans. He's out of folklore like a yokai who happens to love rock and roll. Yokai, yeah, that's the Japanese word for monster, right? Very rock monster. He's always looking for new things because he's got that energy. Yeah. And I was able to organize the garage scene. Oh, nice. Oh my God, he was on stage wearing a vampire cape. That's hilarious. There used to be a magazine called Pia and had all the live music schedules. And it said Back from the Grave. Yeah. That was the title of his he took that for his title for his album. We're reminiscing about the Back from the Grave early shows in Shinjuku. It was like a secret society, says Seiji of Guitar Wolf. Secret shows night after night. That Shinjuku Jam spot. Wow, there's some really good VHS footage happening right there, guys. Oh, it's the 5, 6, 7, 8s. Nice. Again, famous for their Kill Bill appearance. Oh my God. About about 8 minutes into the film now. It's a good thing he got obsessed with bikes. All he talks about is bikes. Oh, he's a bit of a cyclist. Oh my God. He's wearing like full on like yellow jersey Tour de France gear with like all the freaking logos plastered all over it. Oh, that's hilarious. They're talking over the 5, 6, 7, 8's performance. Yeah. Wow. That's quite a character. He was in a newspaper in Europe and said, "I came from Japan." In the Tour de Spain. Oh, they're going into the other parts of the scene, like the rock shops. We're talking to Jack Elvis Sato, and he's crediting Nalva for just being the keeping the energy of the scene going. And then they show him jackhammering tiles. What is that? His day job? I guess that's his day job. That is his day job. Oh my God! Wow. So cycling, all that stuff. That's a great name for a band member. Texaco Leatherman. That's nice. I mean, in a nutshell, it's just Noah putting on the bands that he likes. So he creates his own showcase. And Noah says, ever since I was a little kid, all I ever did was listen to music, spend money on records. It all started with Elvis, and then glam rock, and then hard rock, then punk rock, and then new wave, and then ska. There you go. And he first encountered garage after that. Huh. Yeah. So he took the name back from the Tim Warren compilations of rock albums. So garage rocking craze put on by my fellow DJ Jimmy Mashiko. Okay. And he was in a band called Toyettes and helped him put on the event. There you go. Jimmy Mashiko and Group Sounds. That's gay. Okay. I'm gonna talk profile him. So you listed next to him and Jimmy Mashiko as co-creditors. Okay. Oh, a performance of the Shallows from 2014. Their last time they were together, 2008 to 2014. Wow. Oh, he talked about how the Ventures came to Japan and really influenced a generation of guitar-centric instrumental bands that are coming up. Of course, famous for their surf rock theme song for the 850, and then the Beatles and the Stones came later, and that was their singing groups. So the bands influenced by that were called Group Sounds, GS for short, in the wake of the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. There you go. Oh, are they playing in Shelter? Oh, that's in Shimokitazawa. That's the club that Bocce the Rock is actually based on. Nice, hilarious. At the time, there was a lot of inoffensive pop songs that had no oomph, and they decided to put that edge into their music. There you go. Yeah. And a man named Susumu Kurosawa put together a discography of really obscure group sound bands. Oh wow! I'm just digging the album art here. There's some great album art coming out too. So I can't get over it. That Shelter Club, that's hilarious. Um, the songs really seem like something out of Pebbles. Man, the album art's really good, guys. So they love 60s GS. They're talking to the Shallows and punk like Mad 3 and Guitar Wolf. Yeah, so that's who they grew up with in the 80s and 90s. And so the Shallows think they are a mix of unintentionally of group sound and garage. So Nova's talking about how there was this sort of neo GS boom, and he managed to catch that in 20 hits with his band in 1980 to 1990. There you go. So he's starting to get into garage. And he went to see a show. So it was in a club in Shibuya called La Moa. And he was playing with a group called Phantom Gift. So after the show, this little guy comes up to me and says, "Can I have your autograph?" So they're talking to Pinky Oki. I have had girls ask me for my autograph. Never had a guy ask me for an autograph. So no stuck in his mind because he was the one who asked for an autograph, and he still has the autograph. Oh, that's hilarious. That's so cool. So they talk about how they became friends after taking in the show. There you go. And they've known each other now for 30 years now. Geez, 30 years in the same scene. That's a long time. That's a life if there was, and that's cool. So bands like the 5, 6, 7, 8s and Big Guitar Wolf might not have ever made it to the public eye without his dogged determination. Wow. Gordo Pachi. Daddy-O discovers the 5, 6, 7, 8s. There we go. Here's the 5, 6, 7. There was an emotional market at Jam Studios. I'm videoing the 5, 6, 7, 8s now. And they got to hang out with Nov and other friends. And tickets were between eight to 1,000, so $8 to $10. And they were all high school friends except Nov was 21. And that's why he got the name Daddy-O because he was a senior. He's not a teenager. Back in I Don't Know the Girls were less of a garage band, more like a New York Ramones style punk band. There you go. So that's before he met bands like Guitar Wolf, Mad 3, and the Cedrics. Okay. Wow. I like how they're riffing between current footage and VHS footage of back in the day. So cool. This is well edited, guys. You got to watch this movie if you haven't. So, yeah. Talk about compilations. And that was an event back at the Shinjuku Jam Studio. Number of patrons and the number of musicians were close to the same numbers. So it was very cozy. But everyone was all riled up. Oh my God. All right, starting up another hey, they got the surf drums going with the 5, 6, 7, 8's nice. Well, I'm gonna have to catch a show of theirs when I'm next time in Tokyo. That's all I can say. They're talking to Jimmy Mashko from the 20 Hits about the girls. They took the unconventional route, according to him. Wow, that's some classic surf guitar if there ever was one. Oh my goodness. Like the glamour photos of Slurs. So Ronnie and her sisters are real maniacs, according to him. He had a video from this group called Tokyo Happy Coats, one of the show bands that was popular in America in the 60s. And they were all Japanese. And so, and they admired their choreography. Said she's a maniac. You know, they love for things long buried away, exotic, and all that stuff. Yeah, so they definitely got a retro feel, that's for sure. Oh my God, Chad. My goodness. So back for the grave begins. And now Texas Leatherman versus the Grave 3. Okay, earphone alert. Oh my God, that was a squealing guitar. Grade 3 was a band that formed when the guitarist from my band joined up with the bassist. This is Mashikawa. Grade 3, the Great 3. From 89 VHS footage. Oh my God, I'm just digging this. So called Garage Rock and Craze. Just so you know, we're closing in on 22 minutes on the movie right now. 22 minutes. Wow, they're showing all his collectibles on this. Then they went to see. Nova had seen this group of friends for Grade 3. Texaco Leatherman still playing, even 30 years later. Wow. Oh, of course, they got to have a Back from the Grave poster with Godzilla on it. Come on. Nice. Can you think of it? Can you think of a monster more punk than Godzilla? I don't think so. So they're talking about they're praising Texaco Leatherman. What a name! So I said without him and his band, they're terribly important. There probably wouldn't be a scene. Ooh. Believe it or not, they're playing. A lot of the shots are actually in UFO Club, which I've been to. This is hilarious. Oh my god! Wow, I've been in that club. That's crazy. Uh, I saw Akai Karage play there, and they had their own sort of psychedelic surf punk kind of sound. So I gave them tapes from Pebbles and stuff, says Nov, and said, listen to this. And they started going down that path. I thought that gross sound was really great. So that's a group called Mokos Europe. And and they're all friends from art college. There you go. Huh. So open up a garage outside of Ranch Hand. Okay. A bunch of humans wouldn't give up their hardcore spirit. So it all started from there. I can't believe they played UFO Club. That's hilarious. I've been in that club. That's funny, chat. Oh my goodness. In Koenji, Tokyo. So no one really came out to see us. But then one night, Nov happened to catch their set. He said, I'm going to put you on my show and you're going to play. And at first I thought, this old guy's just nothing but talk. But he was serious. So they considered it shocking to play with Grade 3. And he said, God dang, this garage stuff is fun. It's fun. I'm listening to this on my headphones, but I really just want to blast it on the speakers. But that would just wake up the neighbors. So they're all reminiscing on when they first time they saw those weirdos wandering around. Who are these guys? They talk about that Texaco Leatherman here, leaving such an impression. So it came to give ourselves a name. So time had come, and they were thinking of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Wanted to name the band after that. And then when he went to New York and he saw this, he saw this, got this shop called Leatherman for people who had peculiar tastes, and yeah, so he wanted that. He wanted a motorsports flavor, so he thought of, he used to be this. He saw this Texaco car on the F1 circuit. It's a Texaco in there somewhere. So that's what became Texaco Leatherman. Oh my God. There's a lore story there. So Dav wanted to start the want to start the gigs, and so he thought the name like Texaco Leatherman would be eye catching as it was. So that's how the Back from the Grave gig started. Oh boy. And so they recount the first time I saw Texaco, they thought it was breathtaking. I thought, what the F is this? The samurai sword really got me. It was stuck in the ceiling. It's just a sword stuck in the ceiling and after the gig. So now crying another group called the Great Mongoose. Closing in half an hour into the movie, guys. Half an hour in. Oh boy, yeah. These are yeah. They don't have any. They're more straight ahead. That's cool. So I heard that Back from the Grave was going to start up. There wasn't any garage only shows at the time, so that really interested them. They were going out to see them. And so Shimmy was one drummer was really into GS groups, and so that's how he said. And he was really happy to see those start up. And he went by himself. He didn't know anybody. It was really good extended concert footage. So weren't many bands, so Nova asked for demo tapes. And Inoki brought the demos together for the Great Mongoose. And Jackie and the Cedrics became regulars at the next show. And then they played for the first time. There you go. Nice. And it turns out that Shimmy is quite the multi instrumentalist. They even showed playing with a violin. So Rockin' Inoki with Jackie and Cedrics. And they're playing like retro surf and with Adventure. So they're wearing like 60s suits. It's hilarious. They look like they could have been like a band playing in the Catskills back in the 60s. This is crazy. They're playing. They like the surf guitar guys like Dick Dale. Yeah, there you go. They're definitely more classic surf rock. You can tell already. Oh my god. So they were the only ones, according to Nova, who brought in a demo video as opposed to a demo tape. Oh, look at that great VHS, man. Demo video. They're laughing. It was a Sony Betamax. Yeah. And they're just twanging away. They're laughing. Oh yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. I like how they're doing synchronized guitar moves on the stage. That's hilarious. And there's a lot of reverb. That's cool. Yes, and so Inoki has a gift for maintaining antique gear. So there's another guy named Kawamura who's an antique amp maniac. Nice. A vacuum tube amp guy. Oh my lord. Look all the you talk about his fuzz boxes and maintenance on people's amps. Holy crap. So he's always at those retro kind of gigs. Oh my goodness. Guys that there's garage punk and that's a guy's a garage tech. That's crazy. So some kind of concert footage here. Nice. 90s Guitar Garage Punk, The Birth of Guitar Wolf, Super Snaz, and more. Here we go. Now it's Guitar Wolf. Yeah. They're talking about Inoki from the Cedrics and Seiji of Guitar Wolf before those Guitar Wolf decided to go. That's when I saw jacking the Cedrics as Seiji. And that's how he met Nov. And that's when he experienced the whole scene. A weird world, he puts it. I want to play here, he said. So he asked Oneki and introduced me to Nov, he says. And he gave Daddy Onov a tape. Oh, look at that ancient footage on the VHS. That's cool. Ho, 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 ho. So yeah, they got a demo tape from Guitar Wolf, and so he listened it with Ronnie, and it was Sugoi. And he just thought it was great. Just gotta put them on. And the crowd's going ape, well, ape crap. Yeah, they're moshing, they're surfing. Here we go. You can see that little part of Shinjuku and using it took the Japanese rock scene and flipped it on its head. So a lot of bands started playing, and they still play their shows like Great Mongoose and the Titans. I gotta look this up, man. I gotta look up the scene. Bands like the ones that turned into the Teen Generates, American Soul Spiders, and Super Snaz playing under their old name. Yeah, Super Snaz. Here we go. That's who I've heard of. So it was around '89. It was pretty difficult to be playing because they had the auditions and patron requests. It was impossible bands put on their own events. Yeah, the clubs controlled the lineups. So with Nov, he started back from the grave with the whole garage thing, and he asked them to play. As it was already listed on the monthly schedule, and so at least he got a gig. So it's the development of a scene. Man, I'm so digging the '80s VHS, man. That's cool. The '90s, that's cool. So there would be different factions of different genre fandom. So it was really scattered. So once they saw their friends leave, they would leave. Friends band, they would leave. So you just hard to hold on to the whole group. So a simple premise from Back from the Grave. was happy with something like that. I think it was the first time we ever got paid. Remember, it says Fifi from their band. Yeah, cash. You sometimes have to end up paying the club. It asked for tens of thousands of yen, but in fact, they got paid for this for the first time. Yeah, that's true. You sometimes have to pay to play in Japan. The performance economics are kind of weird there. Yeah, doesn't matter. Just put Texaco on. Was what put them on with Grade Three. It's the same now, but it's not that they go crazy. But one night they went particularly wild. So so the club said they couldn't put Texaco on. No more Texaco. That would have been a 2 year mark. Didn't you trash the jam room? They're talking to the very quiet female player in the back around them, but she was the one who wrecked the jam space and really just bust him up with his fist as he gets psyched. So they burned that bridge. Wow, that's and then 567 they set off a smoke bomb and a cop showed. Oh man. That was that jam too. And they reimburse people for equipment all the time. So they would break stuff. Oh my god. That's I hate to say it. So punk. Like they'd hardly make anything, but they get charged 30,000 yen or $300. Wow. There are times when a customer really comes slow, sometimes a customer that really wouldn't. So it's a bit of uneven attendance. And now Texas couldn't play there. So they're asking now what's gonna happen next. So it was on hiatus, back from the grave, and then it returns. So it opens up with Cedric and the boys on VHS. So knows back from the grave and went on hiatus. So Nova lives out in this part of Tokyo called Fusa. It used to be called a club called Redbird. And he said it doesn't feel like Japan, it feels more like America. So Nova's working there. And even from way out there, he would put on garage shows. So that's the Redbird Club. I mean, the players are called a very unique atmosphere. Yeah, when you're standing up on the windowsill and playing guitar, that's definitely. Wow, and some nice grainy Betamax, maybe. So yeah, so his merry band of bands would come over there and play, like the Cedrics and the 5, 6, 7, 8s, Phantom Surfers, Guitar Wolf. They decided it was very fun to play out in Fusa. Okay, now they're cut straight to a modern footage of Eddie Legend. A lot of bands are playing from the background from the very beginning. And then they talk about, also the second wave. And by the time we got to band 3, there was already nearing the second generation of bands. Here we go. So now they're talking to Eddie Legend of Mad 3. It was 88 or 89 when he saw the first garage performance. So Eddie Legend originally was playing, it had 2 female singers and had a very Demones British garage vibe. And got warped into Mad 3. And he considered them scary right from the beginning. They were really cool. So they're probably very kaku-y. They look pretty kaku-y. Oh my god. Some nice videotape footage here. Nice. So I started playing there too. And so Mad 3, which started in 89. And then he played guitar for the 5, 6, 7, 8s as well. And so if he wasn't playing, he'd be watching. And at the time, psychobilly was being a genre as well. And there were a lot of fights going on. So if you're going out to see a show, you have to like mentally prepare yourself. It's gonna get dragged into some fight. So the adrenaline is quite charming at those kicks. I'll talk about another band called the Saturns. Oh boy, they're definitely more thrashy. Yeah, the Saturns sound thrashy. Oh my god. Well, 45 minutes in, folks. 45. So the Texaco Leathermen are talking about the Saturns. They're totally garage, not just 60 garage, and kind of an evil vibe with the way they play. Those 5, 6, and 8s are recalling the first time they saw the Saturns. Back to concert footage. They're all wearing helmets, like soldiers' helmets. They did a show at Shimokitazawa with Mad 3. Shimokitazawa is a very cool indie rock uh, community as well. So I was going to start a band, and the rest is history. They're a very cool band. He said she called them very manly. Just in and out, and it's so cool. There they are playing at UFO Club in Koenji. Yeah. That's so funny. I've been in that venue. That's nuts. Oriental Rock's Exodus to America. Bands like Guitar Wolf and T Generate. Yeah, I know. They got signed, and the first ones, the number 5, 6, 7, 8s that went to America, I know, and then Firestarter. A lot of them got signed at Matador Records in New York. That I remember. That's not in the video, but that's what I remember. They started a tour in America, and so they played at the Rock Garage events over there. And yeah, Bellingham, there you go, Seattle, Washington State, New York, and San Francisco. Yeah, they had an event out there in Seattle called Garage Shock. Yeah. So the owner of Estrus Records, Dave Kreider, brought all these bands he liked for a big show. So everyone went overseas. They got caught up in a garage boom. Once they got back, and the band started getting followings. And they all kind of solidified together. They're talking to Benny Miller, and the subtitles just switched to Japanese. That's hilarious. The A-Bones and Norton Records. Yeah, and they're still friends with each other. That's cool. Aw. Halloween Ball. And there's a guitarist right now dressed in a suit and has a face of the Fly. The Fly in his one-man garbage. The Halloween Ball. Never really played it in the beginning, says Ono Ching of the Jet Boys. The scene was different back then, so that's why we didn't play. And I wonder why they started asking us to play. Maybe just 10 years ago. That's when Halloween just really took off in Japan. Was about 10 years ago. Because it got, oh my God, there's a garage group that's dressed like Mario and Luigi. That's funny. Um, so Guitar World's manager Hachiko, and he said, let's just do a Halloween show. And they had it at Shelter. Yeah. That's Mochi the Rocks venue. That's cool. Oh my God. That's hilarious. Oh, I've yet to go into Shelter yet. I got to go see a Shelter show next time I'm in. Go. But now Dr. Death, who's the organizer of the Halloween show, he says it has moved around some. I definitely have to check out that guy's clothes shop, Jumping Jack. So I think I'm gonna get some really good T-shirts there. So around 2001, 2002, they started doing Halloween shows, and they've been carrying on ever since. And now the Shinjuku Loft. That's another great venue. I haven't been to that one yet either. Nice. Oh my God, someone's dressed like Sailor Moon. That's crazy. That's hilarious. And so you get all the garage punk bands and put them together in one day. And then what costumes do you wear? What show will we play? Yeah. So the separation between punk and garage is disappearing, and people are playing more freely. Yeah, that's for sure. It's a group on stage dressed like bananas. That's hilarious. So Shinjo's saying that he's starting to ask us to play, and it's something we look forward to every year. Yeah, that looks pretty wild. So the first Back of the Grave show was on October 31st, and so they've embraced it ever since. Wow. Because you already know Halloween's actually not a native event in Japan. It's just, oh, the Titans. Here we go. Nice. Playing in orange jumpsuits. Nice. Reason why he held that day in particular says no. Because of the release rush, and it was first to come up was Pebbles. So yeah, Back from the Grave, and had all sorts of compilations. So talk about bizarre and weird stuff. And with those compilations, the jack was often be taken from horror films. And it's because this has to do with horror, then that's also horror hot rods. So it's basically B movie stuff. And I guess that gets into the whole Halloween vibe. Nice. This guy literally hanging off the ceiling. That's crazy. Of course, a few zombies. Nice. The masked robbers. Of course, a girl in cat ears. Of course. Some people dressed as tires. Girls dressed as bees. Oh my god. Yeah, this is cosplay heaven right here. This is hilarious. Yeah, Sailor Moon. Nice. Someone's dressed up very loungy with skinny ties. Very nice. Goblins. Oh, she's having a good time. She's laughing her head off. This is sort of a long performance video with the B-roll of cosplayers. This is great. This is a very well edited documentary, guys, and it's for free. I cannot recommend this highly enough, man. I've having been to the big label rock scene and also the indie rock scene. This is a great introduction to rock in Japan. Yeah, nice. The Fadeaways, that's who they're playing now. They look more mod than anything. So just think of the early Who, except for maybe that one guy with the mask. Definitely look more to like the Who than Punk. So the first time he saw Garage was on the second Halloween ball, and it was Shelter and Shimoto Yozawa. Yeah, Bocce Rocks venue. Holy crap! Saw boyfriends playing on stage in high school uniforms, and that Toyoza of the group. So that's the image was what the hell is that? And then the audience watching them intently, and then after that, the Saturns came out, and then Texaco took the stage. And what is it? And all I could think was, what the F are with these people? And a fight broke out when I was there. I never seen that fight, and I was really scared, and I remember it very well. Oh, stage dive, nice. New generation, fadeaways, Bat, Young, Parisian, and Vivian Boys. I suppose the bands that got there was all those San Francisco bands, the Mummies, the Trash Women, Phantom Surfers, and they're not from San Francisco. The Devil Dogs. I think those bands, the initial Japanese bands, were all started playing at the same time. Nice. Oh, that's good fuzz on that guitar. Oh my god. So the bands that came during the next wave over here, influenced by the Mummies. Now they're playing the music of The Bad. Oh my god. That's how I felt about the times as Mika Bat, the female guitarist. Oh wow, it's like almost like noise rock. Jeez, that's awesome. I never heard a mix of noise rock and garage before. That's crazy. So it's kind of like studying rock and roll high school, but kind of felt like a school for rock and roll. A lot of people who are into the arts there. People who look cool. And the instruments they're playing are vintage. Well, I'm digging this groove though. Oh my god. First band I saw who people said were cool would be the 5, 6, 7, 8s. And then Mad 3. And they're so cool that it makes you want to cover your eyes. So they're talking to Sumi Glam Sam, and he evolved from punk, and then rockabilly, and then psychobilly. But psychobilly was getting faster and faster and faster and louder and louder. And it's getting losing a bit of that rockabilly that it used to have. And so I was wondering, is there anything else out there? And I found Garage, he says. Oh my god, he's so glammed out. And okay, so he plays in Young Parisian. Okay. Wow. So like garage glam rock here, it's very glam. Back then it was the 90s. So everyone was into Green Day, No Effects, so melody core, but you just couldn't get into it. Huh. Had no one to talk to at the school, no one else who liked the Cramps. There we go, the Cramps. No one knew about Ed Wood. I was very lonely. Once he found a garage scene, all the things he loved, he could talk about. He smirks. He had his rock and roll cool on, but he's just smiled there. That's so nice. Yeah, he's having fun. Nice. So everyone's free here. Everyone was talking about pop culture. That really saved him. Hmm. He also likes wearing the big feather boa. I'm just saying. With Japanese garage rock, everyone's unique. There's only one Texas 11. There's only one Jackie Sanders. There's only one 5, 6, 7, 8s. It's only one of each. Can't do the same thing as anybody else. So he wanted to reciprocate it, so he doesn't play garage rock. He plays glam, even though it's very garagey. Is that a word, garagey? I'd say why glam rock? Because it contains the past, present, and future of rock and roll, and it can take influences from even before the 50s and from the future as well. Talks about new wave, punk, and even disco in there. It suits him the best. Hmm. Well, he looks like quite the character. And he says that he's way more influenced by the Cramps than the New York Dolls. But you know, Young Parisian doesn't know garage bands, asked the interviewer. Then we get asked at Back from the Grave. The same, I don't get too caught up in there. Young Parisian is the only glam show that can play at a rockabilly show, goth show, or a mod show. Yeah, that's all because they grew out of the garage scene. Hmm. Vivian Boys. So lead singer is a woman on the drums. Oh, jeez. His name's Honda Suicide. There you go. Now I was wondering when a really punk name was going to come up. Texaco Leatherman's pretty punk, but Guitar Wolf, but oh my god, wow, some good groovy drums being played right there. So the difference between the American and Japan's college scene, they have all these art schools in Japan. Texaco Leather and Ginny Vamps, they're from Musashino Art School. The Great Mongoose, Jackie and Cedric and Titans who are from Zokai Art School. Did you first know about the garage scene here? How'd you start your band? He's asking Vivian. So in college, she was in the heavy metal club. Now, Vivian. And so he asked her, "Would you like to go to Germany and play drums?" And he said, "Wait, what are you talking about?" He was dragging his amp through college. There's a band that played UFO Club. I was there. I met Shino Sato pretty regularly. And so that band had broken up, but it was another band, and the other two members, Vivian Boys, were in. So they took a liking to me, and I joined up with them. So they got an invitation to play Back from the Grave. That's them at the Fadeaways and The Bat. I definitely have to look up The Bat, actually. They started playing my garage shows. Yeah. Rockabilly's, Mexibilly's, Astrobilly's, Voodoo Billy's. Billy's everywhere. The Drexel. Oh, yeah, definitely Rockabilly happened. So they all got together and practiced in Koenji. Oh, my God. I definitely explore Koenji a bit more. I don't know. I only got to see one show there. Didn't know it was this big a hotbed, though. Oh, my goodness. So this guy who plays just like a caveman and put together comps with old garage rockers on them. So everyone knew about him when he was growing up. And that's Daddy Nov. Oh, that was him. There you go. And some great B-roll of scenesters is great. Always buying records and all kinds of desperate rock and roll stuff like that. There's a lady dressed as a bride in the show. And they mentioned the second shout out to the Cramps. There we go. So 60s garage shop and 50s rockabilly, yep. Which created their own Cramp sound. Really open-hearted person. He really brings people together. Let's talk about now. A minute 12, an hour 12, sorry, hour 12 into this thing. They don't care about age or genre. It's like a world we've never known. He once said this to me, don't practice. He said, let's just have a good time. And that's the Daddy-O way. Ross Lislas in luchador Mexican wrestler hats, masks. I mean, Not really pure rockabilly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But more like wild rockabilly. Oh wow, yeah. So they weren't purist rockabilly. And so far, the only band I've seen with his own sax player. There you go. I like how the documentary managed to find all this footage of the acts by playing at different venues. That's pretty good. How he blends them all together. Yeah, it's so be it us, Mexican, Japanese, veterans, rookies, El Borracho, rockers and rollers, garage freaks, punks. It wasn't prejudiced towards anything. He supports people on merits alone. He's talking about Nov. It's because of him that the scene is fun. Yeah, this guy's the godfather of this. Oh God. extended drum, extended guitar and drum solo. Yeah. Oh, who's coming up now? Oh, Stompin' Riff Raffs. Okay, here we go. So the bands that I saw after Los Rizlas was Stompin' Riff Raffs, says Daddy Onav. They're the ideal rock and roll band. They're the portrait of a rockabilly band. They're people with the same sensibilities and hobbies. Oh my God. This group has, they just agree on a look. Whether that look changes as every performance, sure. Wow. They're chameleons, that's for sure. An extended performance video. Nice. Another band that you would consider probably pretty fun on Halloween. Oh my goodness. How many costumes these guys got, man? They just show they have different costumes for different shows. This is hilarious. Sometimes they look like a 60s surf rock, and sometimes they look like wow. Back from the Grave is really so Bobby's Bar. There we go. It was truly free. That's really fun. No seniors, no juniors. Everyone's on the same level. Yes. I say which band influence it would be Jackie and the Cedrics and Mad 3. And they're just good instrumental bands. There we go. Ooh, yeah, I like a good rock instrumental though. That's nice. It's the band that influences Minnesota Voodoo Man. So Minnesota was great. Ageless, intergenerational rock and roll says the title card. An hour 18. With Garage, I think everyone's a minority. They place a lot of emphasis on being individuals. It feels like if you look at them for their age, you're not actually seeing them. Minnesota Voodoo Man. Nice. Oh, is playing off the ceiling. Oh my lord, he's hanging upside down. Nice shark suits though. Oh my god. Respect. Anyone can rock a good shark suit is oh cool in my books. I guess this guy likes to climb over everything. Yeah, so now there's old timers and young timers reminiscing about their time at Back from the Grave. They're all members of Minnesota Voodoo Men. Yes. So they're asking, what do you guys like playing for drums? So 5 or 6 years later, I think it was Eddie says to me, it was either him or Kawamura. Someone said, "Man, Yusuke never speaking politely." Sheena Callis. All right. Oh, it's mom and her daughter. Wow. Mackie asked Machina Callis. We've been playing in bands for over 30 years. Is not really in the garage scene. Just playing lots of original material and always loved rock and roll. First time she met Nov. Huh. And when she wasn't really into the scene of dad, so she would just crash out at his place though. And at night, and I would say, "Mom's got to work tonight," or in Fusa, so I'd go hang out with her. Wow. So once he was in high school, started listening to rock and roll on her own. The places that we'd overlap start to go would overlap, and she just wanted to learn how to play drums. And she'd meet with members. Aw, that wave is such a Japanese wave. It's so cute. And so she'd see Guitar Wolf and Mad 3, and then so she'd start listening when she got home. And it turns out they were friends. They were Okasan's friends. And she wants to see the Cramps documentary. And there was these old men that would crash over at Nov's house, and everybody was there. Well, these people are all from bands. The people who crash over at Dad's place. So she never thought that her own daughter would find her way into the scene. So it's like she can't lie about anything anymore. She had to come clean. Oh, nice. Looked like a living room or backstage a jam session. Yeah. There's one, two, three, four, five or six guitarists and one drummer just jamming away. Oh, that's cute. That's the one thing I like about musicians is that when they jam out, they don't have to chat. You got teenagers from back from the grave, guys in their 40s and 50s. All they just play there. Isn't that great? Yeah, there's no pecking order. I get it. It's hard to in Japan. It's hard to generate having an open scene like that. Got teens with people in their 50s. Oh man, it's just a multi-generational jam. But it ain't uncool. Rockers in their 50s are cool, right? Ono Ching from Evit is really effing cool, and he's 53. Seiji's 50. These old dudes are cool. Anyone can play rock is cool. But once you stop playing, you're not cool anymore. That's when it changes. Let's keep let's keep rocking till we're in the grave. Yeah. Minute 27. An hour 27. So I keep saying minute. An hour 27 into the show. Ding. Nice. Conclusion. Daddy-O Nav's legacy. So gasoline from Yokaichi. So what's the most amazing thing on Nov? Is create spaces that are easy for young people to come to. Yeah. He's been the same way since the 80s. So sometimes there's someone with a passing interest in garage who might just come in for a night and see everything. To keep that space available and keeping it going though is really great. You can see that as patrons making friends and trading info, networking, yeah, and making more and more friends. Kind of space is important. Yeah, that's cool. It's keeping the scene happening for years is an achievement. Oh, Ronka Cherry is now performing. It's got really reinvigorated the Japanese music scene from all different angles. This is from Shindo from the Shallows. So, starting with the emotional market back in the 80s, and allowing for a Japanese mod scene to crop up. And that's really amazing, yeah. He's been doing that all this time. But even toward young band people, he'll come talk to them without any hesitation. There's no, you got to pay respect to my elders BS with him. They're saying, doesn't get anything of that annoying crap. It's really rock and roll. Yeah, it's very liberated spirit guy. That guy. Oh my god. So that's cool about Nov. He doesn't seek out things that he enjoys. He's just looking for stuff. He said, "I'll just do it myself." So he's talking about the Shallows. That one, the Back from the Grave shows. And said it was a dream of his, and that really makes Nov happy to hear that. And it makes his life feel like it wasn't a waste. Oh. And now end credits with some end credits with some end credit music. But as in typical Japanese fashion, I'm gonna wait until the end. So that it's been a multi-year journey: 2011, 2012, 2013 camera crew. 2014. Let's see how many years this took. Oh my God. 2015 camera crew. Okay, between 2012 to 2015. Nice. So starts out by P. Clark. Oh, they're hammering some mochi. That's nice. A mochizuke, a punk mochizuke. That's cool. And now just going over sort of the B-roll, lots of B-roll, obviously. Oh my God. I'd have to watch this again, actually, because, although it's fine to share it with you guys, chat, I think I want to watch this just listening to the music, not talking my way through it. Unfortunately, that's okay. I'd watch this again. This was cool. Holy crap. About 4 minutes away from the end. Okay, so there's listing all the band members of Firestarter, Super Snaz, the other the A-Bones, the Beehives from Australia, the Saturns, people mugging for the camera. Wow. It's like a Marvel movie. You have to sit and watch the end credits because a lot of really interesting B-roll happening, I have to say. Oh, I can't believe I've been in the UFO club. That's it. That's crazy. Wow. But not Shelter yet. I got to get to Shelter. Oh my God. And all the music credits are coming up. Guys sticking their tongues out for the camera. Okay. Guys. Shelter sign. Yeah. And there's Seiji Guitar Wolf looking so cool on stage as he always does. Oh my goodness. And some more mochi. Yeah. Pound away at it. And some scene stirs. Yeah. And a lot of guitar feedback right now. Oh my lord. Some guy doing push-ups in front of the drum kit. That's nice. Um, pretty much the skimpiest bit of male underwear you never really want to see. But anyway, whatever. To be honest, when I went to see a rock club in Quenji, yeah, there was a guy in less than his briefs at one point of the show. It's like, okay, I'm definitely in punk Japan for sure. Ooh. But like I said, still one of my most memorable nights ever. So cool. I think we're just seconds away, chat, from wrapping this up. Oh my God. Yeah. UFO Club, Higashi Koenji. And then Shinjuku, Kajam, and Shelter, Shimokitazawa, Shinjuku Loft, Green Apple. I never went to that club in Koenji. Does that still exist? Bamboo House. I have to check these ones out. Oh, Nakano, Moonstep. Well, I've never heard of that one. Earth Dam, I haven't heard of that one either. Shinukubo, another club. Attractions in Harajuku. Don't know that one. Super Deluxe, Nishi Azabu. Don't know that one either. Okay, that's good though. That's definitely some club names I have to look up when the next time in Tokyo. Why is he carrying a giant daikon on stage? I call it a white radish. And in loving memory of Billy Bass Wolf. There you go. Yeah. Wow. And Betamax. Well, that was excessively cool, man. Just took me back to being in rock clubs in. Okay. Oh wow. That was cool. What did you let me ask my theater person behind me. My coworker, Adeline. What did you think? I know you're still eating your popcorn, Adeline. Adeline, the house lights are back on. Adeline, can you hear me, Adeline? Back there. Okay, I guess she's still enjoying her popcorn. Anyway, thanks for watching thanks for watching the movie with me. And like I said, the link of the movie's in the description below if you want to watch it or rewatch it and listen to my recap as well. Thank you so much for joining in. Again, thank you for the 20,000 subscribers for all chiming in your wonderful time of doing so. The most beautiful thing that happened to me today was a long time volunteer at a scene on and off that's finally gotten hired by the same place he's volunteering at that's actually on their payroll now. So he went from volunteering his time to being paid staff. And it was after many years of doing so. So congratulations to you, sir. Well deserved. You'll be a great employee there. You're already a great volunteer, but you're a great employee. And you know what? If you happen to know any volunteers in your vicinity, uh, or if you want to volunteer yourself, please do so. The world, it needs you. All right, find something cool to do. I mean, this guy Nove is basically. It looks like he just volunteered his time to devote to. I mean, yeah, he probably makes some money from all this garage punk scene too, but a lot of that's unpaid hours for sure. So you know what, he's volunteering too. So you know what, volunteering, great things come out of volunteering. I know because I've done volunteering myself at times, and it's definitely this is the more transformative times of my life. Okay, so thank you for watching Japanese Rock with me. Yay! Um, Thank you, International Women's Day. That's why I'm dressed in a very womanly fashion. And yeah, and that was the most beautiful thing I've seen today. So this is Yakidachi saying, if you look hard enough, you'll find something beautiful every day. Peace out, peace in, peace everywhere, peace 360 degrees, peace all around. Please. Um, じゃあまた皆さん、ありがとうございます. And as I sign off, I miss you guys already. Looking forward to next weekend's fun stuff. Talk to you soon. Take care of yourself, y'all. Bye.